we invite you here.
Yes, sir.
And we like to hear from many, many different voices.
Yes, sir.
And when you hear from many, many different voices, it gives you an opportunity to see where God is leading you.
Yes, sir.
And I do the same thing here. Many times when I go on vacation, when I have a guest preacher, we have many different voices. I don't use the same denomination, the same people don't always use males, use females.
Yes, sir.
Because I think it benefits the people when they hear other voices.
Yes, sir.
And then they can make an earnest decision on how they can best serve God once they hear the word of God. And so that's what we strive to do here. And Brother Tars has been working with some community groups, and we're thankful for him. And he has always been a blessing to us here in his hometown. He's always working, and many guys here, they're working by their sheer presence. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're going to continue to do. Mm-hmm. We know we're not going to do it all ourselves, but with the help of God, we know that we're going to focus on. I like to say is our blessings, our breakthrough is tied to our faith. Mm. And so if you don't have faith in God, you may not have many blessings or many breakthroughs. And even miracles, your miracles are tied to your faith.
That's right.
And so that's what we have to do. We have to keep pushing. And I believe we save one soul at a time, one person at a time. And by the grace of God, we restore one person at a time. And that's what we have to do. I think that's what God has called us to do. And so we thank you for coming and sharing with us on the day. We thank you, brothers.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And anytime you guys came, let me know. Give us a holler. I didn't get a chance to go and fellowship with y'all today. I had a funeral today, and I was telling Brother Keith, and I said, I just don't have time to fellowship.
You do.
Yeah, and I told him I wanted to, but I just didn't have time. And I just got back in town time enough to change my clothes, and of course I did a bite to eat because it's gone.
Yes, sir.
But we really, I really appreciate you coming,
yes.
And thank you for taking the time and sharing.
You're more than welcome, and you saying something that I should have said, but that's the beautiful thing about listening, right? How I was able to do it inside, but more so I go after the leader. Mm-hmm. You see, I get the leader, I find out who the leader is, right? And I establish a relationship, even in them communities. Sometimes I'm going 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And when I pull up, I'm usually coming in some sweat clothes. Sometimes I go through the daytime. They see me. I want them to know who I am. One of the cars that I have is not tinted. Don't shoot that car. That's what I'm saying. Right? You know, so I'm establishing a relationship with them. So I want to find out who the leader is. Because if I get the leader, I got the shot. Mm-hmm. And when you say that, I say, that's one of the effective things that I do. I get the leaders. So inside, I will get the leaders of the GDs. He will make it mandatory for all of them to come to the church. Mm-hmm. I get this leader from this Ku Klux Klan. He'll make it mandatory. You know, so the Spanish brothers, they will be in church with the Spanish Bible. And for you know, there's 500, 600, 700 of us packed up around the walls. And the wardens used to be back on that wall, and they look at because they just never seen it like it. And it's one of the judges that heard about my case. She knew there was some circumstances around my case, and she notified the Dyrell 2 weeks before she let me go that she was going to let me go. And my brother be a witness. I haven't stopped. I came home and I asked my brothers, I need a suit and a pair of shoes. That's all I asked for. Just give me a suit and a pair of shoes. I'm going. I ain't waiting on nobody. I had my assignment. You know, so I'm watching from the inside. I watch the news. I would study 8, 9, 10 hours a day for 27 years. So I was preparing myself to come home because I had to deal with that inside the prison. So that was the main reason that I was able to get whoever they call the shot callers, get them, and the people gonna come. Focus on the shot callers. Mm-hmm. Find out where they at, separate them sometime from the brothers, take them up sometime. You know, it's like a fish. You get that fish out of water. You see, the Muslim Muhammad say, don't let that fish flock back in. You know, and it's not a coincidence that 8 of the 12 disciples was fishing. You know? So this is why I said, you know, I'm so grateful for you because I'm looking at the fishermen right here that's out in the community. And Reverend tell me they ain't working in the community like y'all down here in D.C. I know that could be a fact. 3 weeks ago, I talked to a sister, Miss Bryant, where they killed 2 people and injured the 27th in Baltimore. I'm on my way down there. She getting with the committee. She say, Muhammad, you need to come down here. And the thing for me is, we strong in the Nation of Islam in Baltimore anyway. And I'm gonna ask my brothers in Baltimore, go with me, we going in there. And this is why I said, if you call, I'm coming. You know, so even if I have to come and find out through brother who the shot callers is, I know the language to speak. But this is the key too, when you do find out who they is. If you asking them to give up that, what you gonna replace it with? That's the key. You see, that's why I have to take them to Lamont Curry, which is the director from Mocha, to provide resources. I got to, because I'm asking them to stop doing that. You know, and we know that the first law of nature is self-preservation. That's right. See, so he can't break, even though he crazy as all get out, he's not going to break the law of nature. He got to be able to take care of himself, his babies if he got some, or his girlfriends if he got some. So if you asking him to replace that, then you got to replace it with something. You know, so that's part of it. So it's a cocktail of things, but first and foremost is trying to get the attention. And from there, ain't no doubt about it. Reverend Tillman, you got, you know, some fishermen down here, y'all already know what to do. And I talked to Keith today. I didn't know all the things that he was doing down here. So if he called, ain't no doubt about it, he won't come. Any more questions? Anybody? As I came before you, I greet you with the greeting, grace and peace.